The future for humanity is divinity. Most people will tell you that the future for humanity is, and they will start mentioning things that are happening within the human state of consciousness. But that is because a word has different dimensions. And so the dimension I use the word future in is a bit different. The future for humanity is not doing different things within the same consciousness of humanity. The future for humanity is divinity. And we'll get into that a little later at the end. If you notice the word humanity and divinity, you'll notice that both words have the suffix ity. And so what we're going to do, we are going to look at the definition of ity. And so as you can see here, ity means forming nouns denoting quality or condition and denoting an instance or degree of a quality or condition. And so for now, we're going to focus on that word degree. We're going to make a mental note of that. And so speaking of the word degree, if you look here, I have, in a sense, a color spectrum. And it starts with white and it ends with this blue. And if you look at those colors separately, they may look like different colors, but in a sense, they are different degrees of the same thing. If you see here, it has different degrees of the same color. So with that being said, humanity is a lower degree of divinity. As you can see here, I have the caterpillar, and we always talk about the caterpillar, but I just wanted to show you an illustration. The purpose of the caterpillar is to find a high place. That's the high purpose of it. Find a high place, hang from that place, crucify the cocoon or the consciousness of the cocoon so that it may emerge as a brand new creation. And so even with that being said, the caterpillar can go off and die in different areas without ever finding that high place to ascend out of this state of being and into this state of being. And so we all know, I think, the process that a butterfly has to go through. And we're going to look at that for a second. And I think we all know that they go through a process called metamorphosis. And so I want to show you this. As you can see right here in Romans 12:2, it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world. It's saying, do not even conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So it is telling you that your mind can be transformed. So what we're going to do, we are going to go into the original language of this word transformed, and we're going to have a look at what it means. And so, as you can see here, we have the Greek pulled up, and we are looking for transform. And as you can see here, the Greek word for transform, it looks just like metamorphosis, but we are going to copy this Greek word and we're going to put it in the translator. So I'm going to copy that. And so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to backspace some letters from this Greek word just to see if we can find a root word. And as I backspace, you'll see that the translation changes: transformation, transform, metamorphosis. So it's in there somewhere. So Do not conform to the pattern of this world. You were never meant to conform to the pattern of this world. You were to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And so the caterpillar speaks. It is a testament of what has to be done. Creation is a mimicry of something bigger. It's telling us what actually has to happen. All right. And so what we do to shift out of this human state of being is renew the mind. We don't conform. We don't stay on ground level and conform to the pattern of this world. The whole purpose was to be transformed, go through a metamorphosis and be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So I want to express this in one more thing. And he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as the light. So what we're going to do, we're going to see what that word transfigured means. And so here we are. And as we look at the English, the transfigured, we have that same word over here, metamorphosis. And so to be transfigured is to go through a metamorphosis process by renewing your mind. So as you can see, in my testimony, I told you guys I began to renew my mind. And as I began to do that, I ascended into heaven and I stood beside Jesus. And when I was back in my body, my whole body was full of light. It felt as if light was just shooting out of me and I was transfigured. And so I just want to show you that everything that has to happen, it's in plain sight. The thing is, you have to renew your mind to the place that you're going. So when I say things like love is not here, what we're doing here is a lower degree of love. You must understand that your aura is created by your mindset. And if your mindset just has the reciprocation of this earthen consciousness, it doesn't produce enough light. Love has to be what love is. Love is the power of all. Love is God. Love is who you are in essence. And so with that being said, it's not really a matter of putting on or adding to become love. It is a matter of reversing because you were already love in essence. And so when I said the word future in the beginning of the video, I told you that the future of humanity was divinity. As you can see here, translations of future. One of the words for future is end. So how is the word for future end? And simply because if you look at a racetrack, hold on 1 second. If you look at a racetrack, it is a complete circle in a sense. And so when the person says on your mark, get set, go, you start here and you go all the way around. And so when you finish, you end up right back where you started from, because your future self is not a matter of creating and adding on and creating a personality to get to your future self, because the end game or the destination is who you were before you took on that persona. So to move forward into who you were before you took on that persona, it's a matter of going back to the future.